What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, people? Your boy Mad Mike with another episode of Unleashed. Now we talk about all the uncomfortable conversations, everything that people don't want to talk about. And this is one of those episodes where you just don't know what you're gonna get. You may get the upset mic, you might get the mic that's saying to the critics, if you may get the mic that says, you know what, I'm gonna take the peaceful route today. But after listening to quite a few people, quite a few takes, my question to you Falcons fans, and to quite a few Falcons fans that believe that you just can't compare Desmond Ridder. Yeah, it's unfair to question or compare Desmond Ridder, but it's okay it's not okay to compare Desmond Ridder to other quarterbacks such as Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, all these guys. Okay? Can't do it. But Mike, but Mike, but Mike, but Mike, but Mike, you can't do that. He's Joe Burrow. He got them to an NFC Super Bowl, an NFL championship. Yeah, that may be the case. But the question is why? Why can't you? Why can't you? And this is one. This I'm gonna throw this into the archives also. But this is why we're gonna talk about it, and I want everybody's take because all I like everybody keep telling me what we can't do. We can't compare him to Joe Burrow because he isn't quote unquote as good as Joe Burrow. Well, you can't do that. But on the other hand, you use Joe Burrow as a barometer to say that he sucks. And what I mean by that, well, let me show you some. I want to throw some numbers up here. This is the reason why it's a foolish statement, and I said last night, and I stand on this. In MVG, if you're watching, there's no shot at you. There's no shot at quite a few other people. On the mark, a lot of people said that we can't do this and we can't do that, and you can't. What you can't do. Well, let me show the numbers. This is why I say it's completely asinine for anybody to say you can't compare Desmond Ridder to these guys. All right, so go look at the passing yards. Everybody, for the most part, everybody like yards. Everybody love numbers. Okay, we like as many numbers as we possibly can get. Right. So, with that being said, I want to show you guys. I want to give you guys some numbers. All right. I want you guys to go to NFL.com and say NFL passing yards for 2023. Okay, so this is a list of quarterbacks with the most yards in the NFL. Okay, so keep in mind what the statement is you can't compare Desmond Ridder to Joe Burrow. Okay, let me throw a little banner up here real quick. Why? Okay, that's the question. You can't compare Burrow and Ridder. Okay, so the question I have for you guys is why can't we? We all love stats. We all love numbers, and we always say that, you know, you look at quarterbacks and look how many yards they pass for in the year, how many, touchdowns, interceptions. We use numbers as a barometer to say how good or bad a guy is, right? So if I read these numbers right here, right? So let me just get to it. The NFL leader in passing yards right now is Tua Tagovailoa, Kirk Cousins, Matthew Stafford, C.J. Stroud, Jared Goff. Those are the top 5, right? Yeah. All those guys have got about 1,600 yards plus, right? So it's Tua Tagovailoa, Kirk Cousins, Matthew Stafford, C.J. Stroud, Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Sam Howell, Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy, and guess who's behind Brock Purdy? Anybody want to take a wild guess of who that guy is? Yeah. Anybody want to take a wild guess as who's behind Brock Purdy? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Anybody want to take a wild guess who that 12th guy is? Because we like to put the facts, the stats, and the truth, not your fucking feelings. This is what we mean about not caring about what your feelings are. This is where we talk about what your feelings are. That guy that is 12th in the NFL right now, he dons a certain number. I like to call him black ice. Yeah. Yeah, that guy. 12th in the league. And this is why, man, Mike, Big Ant, Blackberry, K Styles, One, Coach, OG Truth, OG Sam, and everybody that had a lot to do with the Atlanta Falcons and AFN. This is the reason why we're saying, tell me why Desmond Ridder sucks. Yeah, tell me why he sucks. You said he doesn't have what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. Yeah, there are 30 teams. He's better than 18 one of those. 18 other quarterbacks are below him in regards to passing yards. And I'm about to show you. See, this is what I mean by stupid. So I gotta put you're a fellow Mike, but I gotta put you on blast right here. See, this is what I mean by stupid. This is the most ignorant fucking shit anybody can say. We get praise for guys throwing 500 yards in the game, but it's a bad thing when Desmond Ridder does 600 yards in the last 2 games and barely won and lost another. Most of the points was 21 and barely won. Like, what the fuck? Boy, are you schizophrenic or something? Because you don't have like 12 fucking statements in one. Okay, I'm going to just break it down. Man, you're making no sense. He got 600 yards in 2 games. Since when has it been a fucking problem to have a guy throwing 300 yards in one damn game? In 2 games, excuse me. In 2 games, when has it been a problem when a quarterback throws for 300 yards in back-to-back games? I'll wait. Falcon fans, is that a problem for a quarterback to have back-to-back games with 300 plus yards? Is that a problem? Is that a negative issue? Is that a negative quality? Because maybe I don't get it. Maybe I'm just a little off in the head. Like maybe it's Mad Mike. Somebody tell me that a quarterback throwing for 300 yards back-to-back games is a bad problem. Maybe that's a bad problem to have. Maybe it's me. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe Mad Mike don't get it. You're making no sense. He got 600 yards in 2 games and barely won one. Did y'all say that about Tom Brady barely winning the Super Bowl when he was down 28-3? Do we say this about Patrick Mahomes barely winning 2 Super Bowls? Do we say that Patrick Mahomes barely won a Super Bowl? But it only applies to a guy that you don't like. Do we say Brock Purdy almost got them to a Super Bowl? Do we say Brock Purdy almost won the NFC Championship? Brock Purdy almost didn't get hurt? No, it only applies to Desmond Ridder. And see, this is where I say these things just are asinine. I've never seen a guy when he passes, you say he can't do it. On one hand, you say Desmond can't do it. He proceeds to prove you wrong. And I love you, Mike. But he proceeds to prove you wrong. And most of the people that you said he couldn't pass for 200, then he does that. You say he can't pass for 250. Well, he does that. Well, he said he couldn't pass for 300, and he does it back-to-back games. It's completely, quote unquote, asinine. It's fucking asinine. Tom Brady won games in playoffs where he barely threw for 200 yards. Guess what? And he ended up getting the win. Barely throwing for 200 yards. Do I have to bring those numbers up? Let me see. We like faster stats, and some of y'all like stats because y'all try to use those same numbers. Yeah, you try to use those same numbers. Let me see if I can stats by game. Tom Brady stats by playoff. All right, so I'm gonna throw you some out there. Ooh, this is a good one. This sounds like a good one. So I'm gonna give oh wow. I like this. So Tom Brady won a game where he threw the ball 18 for 32, 18 for 33, 54 completion percentage, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns. Right? Is that a failure? Just want to know. Okay. Then he proceeds and won another playoff game. He passed the ball for 198 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0. And guess what? They won. You see what's his problem? I'm glad Mr. Mark came on to show his thong. How you doing, Marky Mark? Showing your thong. See, this is where I'm glad. See, bruh, no. See, this is the problem that we have. You proceed to tell us you can't compare a guy because he's arguably the best quarterback in the league. You say he isn't Joe Burrow, so you can't compare him because he's Joe Burrow. But what happens when Joe Burrow comes down to the level of Desmond Ridder? See, this is the problem with your logic. People don't compare games to games. They compare careers to games because Joe Burrow has had a pretty good 3 to 4 year start in his career. You say, yeah, he's Jesus. Yeah, he's Jesus. He's been in the league for 3 years. So Desmond Ridder hasn't done what he's done. So you want to compare Joe Burrow's career to Desmond Ridder's first year. See, you see what the problem is? Y'all want to put Jalen Hurts' career. You want to put Joe Burrow's career, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen on a pedestal, but when you try to put those guys in games where they struggled, you can't do that because he's Joe Burrow. He's had a pretty good career. Y'all want to compare, put him on a pedestal when it comes down to the entire career because he's Joe Burrow. But when Joe Burrow is playing like pure T shit, yeah, he playing like pure shit. The biggest hunk of crap you can find. So, and then you proceed to get in these lives with us. You want to say, well, Mike, that's not a fair comparison. Well, what is a fair comparison? Well, this is where a lot of you try to say. Okay, let me go back to the numbers. I want to go back to the numbers on the passing numbers for the NFL. So let me show you something. All right. It's not a lot of compare. All right, you got Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Sam Howell. All right. So we can say Sam Howell and Desmond Ridder pretty much second year. Let's just say second year. Sam Howell, 1,500 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Desmond Ridder, 1,300, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So if we're going to say that Desmond Ridder doesn't have what it takes, then are we going to say the exact same thing for Sam Howell? Because the only thing that really sets these guys apart is literally 200 yards. Barely. It's barely 200 yards. Sam Howell is throwing more interceptions than Desmond Ridder. You see what the problem is? There's only so many people you can compare him if we're going to use that. Joshua Dobbs, he's better than Joshua Dobbs. He's better than Mac Jones. He's better than Geno Smith. He's better than Ryan Tannehill. He's better than Zach Wilson. He's better than Baker Mayfield. The numbers speak for itself. So what are we really doing, people? What is the real question? If these guys are off limits, the Patrick Mahomes, the Tua Tagovailoa, the Kirk Cousins, the Stafford, if all these guys are off limits, but the guys that we are allegedly supposed to compare him to, he got better numbers than those guys, then what? Is Desmond Ridder really that bad? Because I'm taking your logic. You said you can't compare those guys to Joe Burrow. So let's throw Joe Burrow out of the question. Okay? And we're going to compare the young quarterbacks to the young quarterbacks. Oh, we're going to compare the young quarterback to the bottom feeders. So we throw those guys out. Let's throw Patrick Mahomes. Let's throw Burrow, all these guys out. We're going to throw all of that out. So what's the question now? He got better numbers than all these guys. Baker Mayfield, Zach Wilson, Ryan Tannehill, Geno Smith, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Joshua Dobbs, Joe Burrow. We're going to throw him out there. Apparently, since he's Jesus, we're going to throw Joe Burrow out of that. Lamar Jackson, he got better numbers than Lamar Jackson. But we're going to throw him out since he's on. You can't compare him because he's Lamar. We're going to throw Lamar and Joe Burrow out. He got better numbers than Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert. He got better numbers than all of those guys. So what's the narrative now? Since you can't use Lamar, you can't use Burrow, you can't use Patrick Mahomes, you can't use Josh Allen. So what's the excuse now? If Desmond Ridder is trash, if he doesn't have what it takes, then what is the issue now? Who can you compare him to? If those guys are off limits, and don't get quiet now, Mark, because you guys said it. Oh, he passed more attempts. See, this is. I'm glad you said that, Turbo. See, y'all fall right into the traps. Let me ask you a question, Turbo. Turbo ATL Turbo. Why would he have more attempts? Do you think if he sucked, we would be passing the ball more? Because this is the logic. Y'all saying he's not good enough to be a franchise quarterback, and I don't believe you should even think about saying quarterback, a franchise quarterback after 4 years. All right? Prove to me 4 years. And I've always stated this. I give quarterback 4 to 5 years to prove that they are that guy. So until he shows that 4 year after that 4th year that he can continue to be consistent, because this is about consistency, not going to say anybody is a franchise quarterback. I don't believe in just throwing that word out all willy-nilly like everybody else. You draft a quarterback 5th overall or number 1 overall, and you just say, yep, he's our franchise quarterback. Nope, you hope he's going to be that. So, again, if we can't compare him to those guys, then why is it that Desmond Ridder has better numbers than the guys that we are supposed to? See, look, don't tell me. See, this is where the coochie cutter started on. Look, you putting on that yellow thong. Stop putting on the thong. Stop beating around the bush. Answer the damn question. You want to keep going back to the bad game? We don't play them games around here. Answer the goddamn question. Get out your fee-fees. I don't care about what you think, because you are not in charge of the Atlanta Falcons, and you are not an NFL player, and you are not an NFL official. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think, Mark. We like to highlight all the bad things when it comes down to our players and our coaches, but when other guys and other teams have equally, if not worse games than this guy, we saying, oh, no, but he's had a better overall career. Oh, no, Mike, you can't do that because I like Burrow. He's a first-round pick. And by your own admission, people, first-round picks get the benefit of the doubt. So if you're not a first-round pick, you get 4 or 5 years to even prove that you suck. But if you're a third-round, second-round pick, you don't get the luxury of saying you suck. If you don't have big games or you don't have consistent games, quote-unquote, consistent games, then you got to be thrown in the trash immediately. But why? Because he's a third-round pick. You don't get the luxury of getting the benefit of the doubt. You don't get the luxury of proving that you're not a good quarterback. You don't get the luxury of that. Why? Because you're a third-round pick. But if you're a first-round pick and you're absolutely dog shit and you can't pass for more than 3,000 yards in the season, Justin Fields, for 4 years in a row, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. We're going to give you a $200 million contract. Why? Because you're a first-round pick. You don't get the luxury, Desmond Ridder, to get the benefit of the doubt or to prove that you work or you are a good football player. You don't even get the privilege of proving that you can play in this league. You don't even get the benefit of the doubt to play 16, 17 games of the season. Why? Because you are a 3rd round pick. It's by your own admission. This is your own admission, people. This is not the rules that Mike made up. You made the rules. So which is it? This is the question that I have. How are we going to gauge Desmond Ridder? Because you can't compare him to guys that are allegedly above him. He's automatically disqualified because he isn't a 1st round pick. Then what is the barometer? How do you judge Desmond Ridder? Because you're saying no to everything. Okay. And this is another statement that, again, this shows you have no knowledge in football. Just all you got to do is just look. If you understand the process of football and going through a quarterback's head, this is why we go to these meetings with Terrence Mathis. Hey, we go through these meetings so we can impart knowledge to you guys, because what you're saying isn't true. Desmond doesn't stare receivers down. Okay, let me tell you, show you the process when it comes down to pressure. Let me ask you a simpler question. If I gave you a half a second to throw the ball to 2 different receivers, let's say 3 different receivers. If I gave you 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds to throw the ball to 3 different receivers, would you not stare a receiver down? Yeah. You got a half of the Falcons, for the most part, and their pass protection has been about 2.2 seconds per pass. So if you got 2.2 seconds, do you think, honestly, that you're going to have enough time to look at 1 or 2 or 3 receivers? Oftentimes, you got 4 options in the passing game. I'm just being generous by saying 3 receivers. But oftentimes, when you look at a quarterback, and if you knew anything about how defenses work, well, defenses are designed to take certain guys away. So you're going to double a Kyle pitch. So a quarterback has to immediately figure out, all right, the first thing he's going to look at, all right, where's the safeties? Are the safeties shaded towards Kyle Pitts? Are they shaded towards the Drake London? Are they taking away the middle, the outside? You got to immediately figure that out. So once you figure out where and who they're doubling, you got to say, all right, it's a process of elimination. Well, they're doubling Kyle Pitts in the middle of the field. So guess what? They leave you with 2 options as a quarterback. Since they're doubling Kyle Pitts on the outside, in the middle of it, so you only got 2 ways to go: the right side or the left side. But what if they have a safety shaded towards the guy on the left side of the field? So they give you 1 option. Well, I got to throw to the right side. So this is what gives you the look. This is why people say he stares down receivers. It's not true. He's going through the process of elimination because he sees that Kyle Pitts in the middle of the field is getting doubled. He sees the guy on the left side of the field has a safety over the top. So he can eliminate Kyle Pitts, he can eliminate Drake London, and then he can go to the right side where Mac Hollins is. So he only has 1 option, maybe 2 options. They either throw it to Mac Hollins or check it down. That doesn't mean he's staring guys down. That means he's going through a process of elimination when it comes down to a quarterback. And this is why we say time and time again, no, he's not staring down quarterbacks. He's going through the process of elimination. Sometimes you don't have 3 and 4 seconds to try to go through it. We've seen it. The Falcons gave up almost 16, 17 sacks in the first 5 games. No, that doesn't say, no, we're not saying that at some point in time he gets, he makes bad reads, he makes bad throws. Yes, we know he does that. But when we hear people say that he's staring down receivers, it's not true. You can't throw for over 1,600 yards in 5 games and say you're staring down receivers. He's 12th in the NFL in passing yards, yet we're saying he can't read defenses. He's staring down receivers. How do you pass for 1,680 yards and say a guy is staring down receivers? How can you say a guy that is 12th in the league in passing yards and say he's not good enough? See, this is what we're talking about. It's about learning the progression. When people learn what progress is, what the quarterback, his job, the first thing the quarterback does when he comes out that huddle is to look at the middle of the field. Where, if you ever look at tapes with Matt Ryan, the first thing that Matt Ryan does, he comes out that huddle, he's looking right straight. He's looking straight ahead. He's looking at the safeties. He's looking at the linebackers. And then from that point on, he figures out, all right, once he look at the safety, he said, all right, the safeties are in the middle of the field. And based on what those safeties may do, the safeties may come up, the safeties may, shade to the right, to the left. So based on what those safeties do, this is how he's going to either flip the play or he's going to check it down into a run play. So those are the first thing that the quarterback does. He's looking at their safeties, seeing what the safeties are. Are they shading to the left? Are they shading to the right? Are they delaying? And what I mean by delaying, the safeties are delaying. They start in the cover 2, but they end up inching closer to it. So this is what a quarterback has to understand. All right, they're delaying. And once they delay, he looks at the linebacker, the middle linebacker. Wherever that the middle linebacker could be on the right side. He can shade to the right side, to the left side. And based on that, this is why you hear quarterbacks say, Mike 42, Mike 42. 52 Mike, 52 Mike. That's what he's doing. He's calling out protection wherever that Mike is. Again, the Mike could be the Mike linebackers, the middle linebacker. The middle linebacker could be shaded towards the right side of the field or the left side of the field, or just in the middle and standing position. So that's the second thing he's looking for. Wherever that Mike is, that's what he's focused on. Because the Mike, you got to figure out where that Mike is so you can kind of get the protection. Slide the quarterback to the left. Slide the offensive line to the left. Slide the offensive line to the left. Right. So this is why you see quarterbacks oftentimes when they come out of huddle, they looking at the safety, they work their way down, and then they send a tight end in motion. They send a linebacker, they shift the linebacker, put him. You see the running back always, all right, where's the protection? Because if he shifts the lineman to the right, well, the running back knows he got to either watch the middle of the field and the right. The middle of the offensive line or the left side, based on where the quarterback shifts the guys. So this is what is going through a quarterback's head. And I know this is a lie, and y'all can go back and rewind it and look and watch quarterbacks. But these are the things that quarterbacks are doing. So when I hear people say that Desmond Ridder is staring down receivers, it's just not true. He knows, based on what the defense is doing, that he doesn't have 10 seconds in the pocket to scan the entire field. So a lot of times, people that are untrained, they say, oh, Desmond Ridder staring down receivers. Staring down receivers only applies when you have one thing. When defenses isn't doubling guys, or they're not shading towards a certain side of the field, and this guy continues to go to the exact same spot over and over and over and over again, there's no proof that Desmond Ridder is throwing to the exact same side over and over and over and over again. There's no proof to it. That only applies if a defense is playing a cover two, they're not shading, they're not doubling. All right, we know that this quarterback is staring down wide receivers. But again, people who don't know football, they don't know the progression of quarterbacks and what the quarterback jobs is and what he's looking at. It looks to the amateur eyes that he's staring down receivers. But in actuality, he's taking what the defense is giving him. Okay? This is what he's doing. He's only taking what the defense. So if you see Desmond Ridder throwing to a certain side of the field constantly, which he doesn't do, but if you see that, now you can say, all right, they're changing up the defense. They're playing cover two. They're playing man. They're sending blitzes, and Desmond Ridder keep throwing to the same side. This is what you can say Desmond Ridder is throwing. But Desmond Ridder is throwing to the middle of the field, the right side of the field. He's throwing to all of these. You can look at the passing chart. The passing chart for the Falcons is everywhere. So this is what I mean when people just have no idea. People have no idea what they're talking about when they say he's staring down receivers. You can't pass for 1,600 yards and be 12th in the damn league and passing yards and say, all right, he's staring down receivers. It's an asinine statement. It's just not true. Ask old Crazy Breezy. I see you really looking. All you got to do, me and KSTYLZZ always say that. If you see a quarterback's head moving side to side, that means he's reading the field. Okay. And Jason, this is a great right here. This is exactly what we're talking about. We got to stop putting Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady expectations on guys that are never going to be that. No matter how much we may think a quarterback could be, he's never going to be Matt Ryan. He's never going to be Patrick Mahomes. He's never going to be Peyton Manning. He's going to make mistakes, and he's going to make rookie mistakes. None worse than the one that he threw in the middle of the damn in the end zone. He just lobbed it up. That was a rookie mistake. We've been saying time and time again, over and over, every show, that there's going to be mistakes. But this live isn't to beat a dead horse. Is what we're trying to do is get Falcons fans to understand the quarterback position and the quarterback's thought process, which leads us to this. This is why Arthur Smith doesn't get a pass for any one of us, because he's not helping his young quarterback, because he's not running the ball. He's not spreading the ball. He's not riding the hot hands. Oftentimes, and this is what Chauncey said the other day, is that we're trying to force the ball to Bijan Robinson in situations where we don't need to. Right now, Kyle Pitts is hot. Right now, Tyler Algier is hot. Drake London is hot. Mac Hollins is hot. One of those guys, when those guys get on the roll, we need to ride the right hand. Ride the hot hand. This is what we need to do. But in situations where we're just trying to force the ball and give Bijan Robinson the opportunity, check the ball down, throw slants to him in certain situations when everybody knows we're going to get the ball to him. This is the reason why we're saying it's not necessarily the Falcons' offense. Is they're trying to force Bijan Robinson to be a superstar, and at this point in time, this is what's messing up the chemistry with the offense, and that's largely due to the fact that Arthur Smith is trying to force feed Bijan Robinson in moments where he doesn't need. We need to ride the hot hand. And that's the dish. And this is another one. You said he was trash. He couldn't pass for 100, 200. Now he's had back-to-back games where he passed for 300 or more. After people said that he couldn't do that, he's doing it, and now he's still trash because I guess like every time he does something, another excuse. Well, we're not winning games. Well, we were winning games when he was doing less than this. Y'all wasn't satisfied with that. So which is it? Which is it? You just want to win games? Do we really care about the stats? Because we were winning games when we were rushing the ball for 200, 300 yards a game. We were winning games then. We were winning games when we were rushing the ball for 200 yards a game. Nearly 200 yards. I think the Falcons averaged about 160, 70 yards per game last year. We were winning games. Running the ball with that philosophy. You know, said that wasn't good enough. Now we have a defense. The defense is making stops. And we changed our philosophy from running the ball to passing it. And this is where I stated yesterday is that the 4 teams that passed the ball 45 plus times, every last one of those teams lost. We had 4 teams this past weekend that passed the ball over 45 plus times. Every last one of those teams lost. Let me say that again. Every team that passed the ball, including the Atlanta Falcons, who passed the ball over 45 times, each one of those teams lost. We were just talking about Brock Purdy was the MVP. Yeah. We were just talking about, everybody was saying Brock Purdy is the early season MVP. Magically, he loses Debo and he loses Christian McCaffrey. And then his numbers are, let me see what it was this past week. I think it was like 12 for 25. He loses 2 weapons and magically he turns into trash. Yeah. Magically, Brock Purdy just turns into trash after losing his 2 top weapons. Okay. And they lost to a Cleveland less quarterback. I'm talking about they did not have their starting $200 million quarterback. Okay. This man was 12 for 27. He missed over half of his throws. Okay. This man missed over half of his throws. But we're talking about whether or not Desmond Ridder has what it takes just to be a quarterback, a quality quarterback. 12 or 27. 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 3 times. Oh, my bad. Christian McCaffrey did play, but he got hurt. And the offense went straight down the crapper. The crapper. See, this is where we get into expectations. Just because a guy won Rookie of the Year, or he won MVP, or he won this award in college, or he's a Heisman Trophy, and he was picked in the first round, that does not guarantee that he's going to be a good quarterback. And if you look at the percentages of quarterbacks who've actually been drafted in the first round, it's over 80% of those guys have failed. Yeah. Most of those guys have had, it was about, I'd say about 75, 80% of those guys who were drafted in the first round, they failed. Yeah. It's like we want to praise, we want to use guys like Joe Burrow as a comparison to try to decide whether or not he's good enough. Right? We say, well, Desmond Ridder isn't putting up 300 yards and 4-5 touchdowns like Joe Burrow. But we can't use Joe Burrow's bad game to compare him to Desmond Ridder. These are the things, like I said, I haven't figured it out. Nobody in here has told me how do you fairly compare Desmond Ridder. Because I just stated that the guy that you want to compare him, he's better than. All the young quarterbacks, he's on par doing exactly what these young quarterbacks are doing, if not better. The Sam Howells, the Justin Fields, all these guys we comparing them to, even some veteran quarterbacks, he's doing better than these guys this year. So how do you fairly compare Desmond Ridder? I don't want to hear no whack crap about how we want to give him time, and look, y'all don't want to give him time. I don't want to hear it about look. And yeah, y'all having a free fall in the damn comment section. Look, they can be disrespectful. This Mad Mike Sports. Look, they can be a disrespectful all they can. Look, y'all got everybody in their feelings today. So fight on. Okay, fight on. But the thing is, like I said, everybody want to use Joe Burrow as a standard. But when Joe Burrow plays like shit, we want to throw him out. It's like, well, no, that's not the case. Well, it's been the case all for the first 5-6 games of the year. Joe Burrow has underachieved. Yeah, I don't hear to talk about how good Justin Fields is right now because he hurt again. He playing like shit again. But we don't want to compare and say Desmond Ridder is having a better year because he is. These are the same people that said we made a mistake not drafting Justin Fields, and yet Desmond Ridder is having a better year than Justin Fields. Something always wrong with it. Look, he either crying on the damn sideline, or he hurt, or he throwing interceptions, or almost throwing interceptions, or he running for touchdowns. Oh, he a good runner. Well, when you look at the facts, Desmond Ridder playing better than him. So again, for everybody that states that Desmond Ridder isn't the guy, how do you fairly? Okay, that's the thing. How do you fairly compare him? Because apparently everything is off limits. You can't compare him to Joe Burrow. You can't compare him to Patrick Mahomes. You can't compare him to Jalen Hurts, who's having, ironically, almost identical season. Okay? Almost identical season to Desmond Ridder, but I mean, I ain't going to say nothing about that. The fans in Philadelphia already calling for his number. They want, look, these guys already want Marcus Mariota in. I'm not joking. AKA Lyric's mom. AKA Kiara. My buddy. Just showed the 2 shots today. Philadelphia Eagles fans already calling for Jalen Hurts' job. So tonight we're gonna have a show on the 6-man K-Style. So for everybody that states that we're wrong about Desmond Ridder, and we're wrong, just come on and tell us why we're wrong. You won't have to worry about Blackberry, and you won't have to worry about everybody in the chat. You're gonna have your shot tonight to come on and tell us why Desmond Ridder sucks, why he ain't it. Because you're not showing me anything other than regurgitating the same shit that I've heard. He just ain't it. He stares down receivers. He throw interceptions. But when we got Patrick Mahomes throwing 3 interceptions in a game, it's all cool. When Joe Burrow throwing for less than 300 yards or 200 yards in a game, it's all cool. When Jalen Hurts, who's making $200 million, not including a whole Jordan deal that's worth $100 million, it's all cool. It's all cool when they do it, but when Desmond Ridder does it, he's not it. So without regurgitating the exact same points, this is you guys' opportunity to show us why Desmond Ridder isn't that guy. Because on film, there's no proof to say he's consistently staring down receivers. You can't be 12th in the league in passing if you're throwing into double coverage and you're not reading defenses, or you're staring down receivers. I'm unbiased. I don't know what this will be. It's his first full start, but now I'm concerned about the turnover-worthy plays. That's it. He got to clean up. I mean, I'm not worried about the turnover-worthy plays. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, let me pull up some numbers real quick. Because this is why I'm saying I'm not worried. Because we just totally forget, bro. This is why I say you have to do your homework. I'm not concerned with it. Okay, I'm gonna give you a Hall of Famer's rookie year. Okay, this is why I'm not upset. This is why I'm not upset at all. I'm not concerned about him turning the ball over at all. This quarterback, he's a Hall of Famer. Without question. Threw more interceptions than he did touchdowns in his rookie year. This quarterback has probably the biggest forehead I've ever seen besides mine. This quarterback used to do quite a few commercials. I think he's one of the greatest. Look, he's my GOAT. He threw more interceptions. Okay, he threw more interceptions than he did touchdowns in his rookie year. And this is one of the main reasons why I'm not upset. Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions in an entire year. I'm not concerned. This is why you need to hit the history books. And you just gotta, wait for the process. But this is another reason why I say it's like, bro, we just gotta wait and see what he is. We will never see what a guy is and what he's about and what he could be if we don't give him a shot, bro. Y'all ain't even giving a shot because you looking at the pretty girl with the big booty over there. And ladies, y'all looking at the dudes with the gray sweatpants on. Y'all ain't even giving them a shot. You ain't even giving him a chance to prove that he's a good quarterback. You ain't even giving a shot to prove that he can get it done. You ain't even giving a shot. Peyton Manning had more interceptions than he had touchdowns. And see, this is another one. This is another feelings. Like, look, I love it, but this is false. Another false statement. It's about consistency with really. He seems to fold when he has to play defenses with dogs on it. I mean, did we not see Tampa Bay? Let me see. All right, so let me look at this. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's me. Okay, the Texans, they got some dogs up front. The Jaguars, they got some dogs up front. They lost to the Lions. They damn sure got, and they arguably the best NFL team in the NFL. The Packers, they got some dogs up front. They beat them. And the Panthers, they got some dogs up front, and they beat them. So again, this is what I mean by like it's just not true. The Panthers have a damn good, all right. They have a damn good front. The Packers, another team, a damn good front. The Lions, a damn good front. The Jaguars, they was in the playoffs last year. They have a damn good front. The Commanders, a damn good front. So again, he's performing against these teams. Now, if you say that you're more concerned about consistency, yeah, I agree. But to say that Desmond Ridder isn't performing against elite talent is just not true. It's not true. And the thing is, I said, don't just look at the Atlanta Falcons and how the Falcons are performing against these guys. Look at other teams and how they perform against the teams that we play. Everybody looking like crap when they playing against the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are arguably the best team in the NFL. Great O-line, great defensive line, and they run the ball, and they very efficient in the passing game. And see, Jay, and this is what I mean. Like I said, not once has anybody on the panel of AFN stated that Desmond is that guy. However, what we have stated is that he has the characteristics, the skill level, the ability to be that guy. But we just don't know. We haven't seen enough from him to say whether he can't do it. I haven't seen it because he's showing you that he has the ability to do it, and he's done it. So, like I said before, when it comes down to this, the Lions beat the Chiefs at home. Yeah, like we're trying to down Desmond Ridder for losing the teams that are playing well. The Jags are playing well. The Chiefs are playing well. I mean, the Lions are playing well. Arguably the best team in the league. We're trying to down these guys for losing the teams. Like that defensive front for Washington, those guys are the real deal. I mean, I can look at the videos right now where you guys have said, let's trade for Brian Burns. So all of a sudden, the Carolina Panthers defensive front ain't all that. I mean, they get off to a they got off to a 14-0 start, but end up blowing that because their offense sucks. They can't run the ball. So it's like most of the teams the Falcons have played this year have been quality teams. It's like I said, we stated this Time and time again. There has not been one guy on this AFN crew that said Desmond Ridder is the answer. There's not been one guy that said Desmond Ridder is the franchise quarterback and he's going to lead us for the next 10 years. No one has said that. But to say that Desmond Ridder hasn't shown us nothing, it's just a downright lie. And I will look you into your face, nose to nose, and call you a fucking liar if you don't say that Desmond Ridder hasn't shown the ability to be a quality quarterback in the NFL. You, sir, you, ma'am, you are a liar. Everybody, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. We saying the dude give him a dang on chance. He's 12th in the NFL in passing. Yet we're saying that he hasn't shown us anything. I don't care how you get me 30 points in the NFL in an NBA game. Get me 30 points. I don't care if it's 30 free throws or 30 layups. Or 15 layups. Get me 30. That's it. I don't care nothing about how you do it as long as you get me 30 points. That's what this is exactly what it should be about. Everybody want to do it in grand fashion. Everybody want to do it in such a good, make it look good. Everybody can't be Steph Curry. Everybody can't be Chef Curry where he's shooting threes from half court. Whether it's the threes from half court or three from the a 3-pointer from the line, it still counts as 3 points. So I don't give a damn how it looks. I don't care who doing it. We care about it happening. And right now, the Atlanta Falcons quarterback, Desmond Ridder, is doing it. I read a stat earlier today that this is the youngest the NFL starting quarterbacks have been in over 10 years. And Dave Archer said this too. He said, if you think Ridder has regressed, you're an idiot. Yeah. If you think Desmond Ridder has regressed, you're a freaking idiot. You don't throw for 302 touchdowns in the game and say, yep, you regressed. That's not regressing. That means you're going through the ups and downs of an NFL quarterback. A lot of these teams, a lot of these players, this dude has not played yet. He don't know. He hasn't played Washington. He hasn't played a lot of teams. For the first time, he's going through these teams for the first time. The second time around, with certain defensive coordinators and teammates and players, he'll eventually get it. He can make that. He can make that change. But until he gets there, see, here go Todd with his coochie cutters on. He be the main one running. Like, what the fuck that means? D-Led worked with the Falcons too. So what? D-Led ain't said shit about negative about the Falcons and Desmond Ridder. You don't see him talking negative about it. It's y'all. Dave Archer does not look. Dave Archer has he talks football. Like he look. Everybody put them coochie cutters on. Put them coochie cutters on just so y'all can show your thong. Okay. Just because a guy works for somebody don't mean he can't have his own viewpoints. It's like it's the goofiest shit ever to say because he works for the Falcons that he can't speak the truth. You're a fucking idiot if you believe that this guy has regressed. You don't throw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and say, "Yep, he's regressed." the guys already had two fourth quarter comebacks this year, but we talking about regression. And Corey, right here, this is what I'm talking about. There's not a lot of people out here. Look, let me see if I can put that. Let me put. I gotta put this. Because a lot of people don't know it, but like, I'm gonna show y'all something that Lyric's mom, aka Kiara, sent me. Okay, and this is when as it pertains to Mr. Jalen Hurts. Now, again, we like the facts, the stats, and the truth. And we talk about guys and their teams. Okay, we like to get behind the truth of things. So the thing is that a lot of people like to say that, you know, Desmond is the only one that's struggling. He hasn't shown us anything, and everybody, like, nobody is holding him accountable. Well, and we shouldn't compare him to a guy like Jalen Hurts. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles fans are holding him accountable. They doing it. They calling for his job. Yeah, they calling for his job up there. Yeah. This man have been in the league 4 years and they calling for his job. You want to know why? Because he's making $200 million. You paid this quarterback $200 million to have the same numbers, as almost identical numbers, in Desmond Ridder. So the question I have for you guys, if that's the case, that his numbers are damn near identical, then Jalen Hurts, what's the real issue? What's the real problem? 250, my bad. Okay, 250. I shortchanged him, and plus a deal with Michael Jordan, the Nike. He just signed a deal with Nike. So not only did he do that, but this is what this says here. Y'all see that? Should the Eagles give Marcus Mariota a look? Why would they be saying that? So the question I have for you guys, if they're saying this about Marcus Mariota, if they saying this about Jalen Hurts, the question I have for you guys is Jalen Hurts overrated or is Desmond Ridder underrated? That's what I want you guys. I need somebody to answer that. Because like I said, it's right there. They fan base is all look. They already done turned on Jalen Hurts. I am gonna say Hurts has been overrated. I mean, look, this not necessarily true. The offensive coordinator is the head coach. the head coach has been called like he is the offensive guy. He was brought there to be the offensive guy. So saying that they lost their offensive coordinator is not true because he's the guy. He created that scheme. That's his scheme. Sirianni he was the offensive coordinator for the Colts, I believe, before they hired him. So that's his offense. So again, is Desmond Ridder underrated or is Jalen Hurts overrated? Because these guys have identical numbers. Mucho says he's underrated. Wolf says a quarter water, he pump a heart pump Kool-Aid. So that's a unique way to say he is overrated. Ritter had the right to have the stats he does. He paid 20 game career. Jalen Hurts, Derek Carr have no right. They're making a lot of money and have years in the league. Hurts is underrated, overrated. Ritter is completely underrated. So quite a few people are saying that, you know, on Desmond Ridder is underrated. No, he called the plays, but it's his offense. Okay. Oh gosh, I gotta explain this again. So hold on, let me see that. So let me explain this. Um, Sirianni is the offensive coordinator. Okay, he has been the offensive coordinator with the Indianapolis Colts going all the way to 2018. The Philadelphia Eagles hired him to be their head coach. It's Nick Sirianni's offense. Stitching called the plays. It's the exact same thing what Dave Ragone is doing for the Atlanta Falcons. So what he's doing is calling the plays via Nick Sirianni. But it's Nick Sirianni's offense. Okay? Just because you're calling the play doesn't mean it's your offense. It's Nick Sirianni's offense. You can't say he's overrated. I mean, why not? He playing like shit. I mean, most quarterbacks who Matt Ryan, he had a better year after, in my opinion, if not almost identical the year after he went to a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts got worse. Like again, these are the expectations. I love you to death, Corey, but this is a asinine statement. You can't say he's overrated because he has a Super Bowl appearance. Like what? Look, Trent Dilfer got a Super Bowl appearance. We gonna say that just because he's Trent Dilfer, like because he had a Super Bowl appearance, that he's not overrated? Like he played like shit the next year. So how good is he really? See, Tom Brady was consistent. Patrick Mahomes was consistent. Nick Foles got a Super Bowl appearance and he got a Super Bowl win, but the following year he returned back to the earth. So is he really that good? Or did he just have one of those outlier years where he was just everything clicked? That doesn't mean that he sucks, but he is overrated if he's having a worse year the following year. So, like I said, we keep again, we put all these quarterbacks because they got their team got them to a Super Bowl. That defense helped them get to a Super Bowl because there was a lot of games where that defense just got like 4, 5 sacks, and they pretty much just single handedly took over. And all the offense really had to do was just run the damn ball. And as far as Patrick Mahomes is concerned, I know a lot of people saying, "Well, Patrick Mahomes sucks. Patrick Mahomes sucks." Well, that's what happens when your team is trying to get it together. You're trying to get other weapons involved. So we can sit up here and say that he's a great quarterback, and yeah, Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, but you still need players. You still need chemistry. This is the first time, like for the most part, you have injured tight end for the most part. Those guys have been struggling offensively, but it's been a revolving door at running back. Sometimes Pacheco, he's hurt, and obviously Travis Kelce and that debauchery up there. Well, I don't know what the hell they got going on, but these are the things they're doing. Kadarius Toney dropping like 6 passes in a single game. It's like, look, you're only as good as the players around you. How long do we give Arthur Smith until we start calling for his job? I got a better question. I'm gonna answer this question, but after you answer this, is firing the guys always the answer? Because we fired like 3 coaches. Okay, we fired Mike Smith, we fired Dan Quinn, and we fired. Let's just say we fired Arthur Smith. Are we gonna wait to 3 years again and fire another coach? Like, does everybody think that every time a guy doesn't live up to our expectations, he deserves to lose his job? Because if we're gonna be real, look at Mike Tomlin. Like, I mean, look, I look, I don't care what you disagree, but it's people calling for a job. It may not be a majority, but people are calling for a job. I mean, you can literally go and watch it for yourself. But yeah, people will come. Look, it may not be the media, but he's underachieving, and we are seeing that people are calling for his job. But again, this is like, why is it every time a guy doesn't live up to our expectations, we should fire him? Every time a guy don't live up to an expectation, should he be fired? And especially especially a coach that literally just got his team this year. This is the first year that Arthur Smith has had his guys. I mean, it's not true at all, RC. Look, it's not true. We found the right guy. Mike Smith got us to the NFC Championship. It just didn't happen. Look, like sometimes you got good luck, bad luck. Sometimes things just don't. But Mike Smith was that guy. He got this team the first back-to-back winning season, and we under him, I think we had like 3 or 4 years of winning football. So it was the right hire. Again, it just didn't result in a Super Bowl. Again, Dan Quinn got us to a Super Bowl. That was the right hire. It didn't work out, but that was the right hire. So, like I said, we can say that it's not working out, but like I think most of our expectations is like if we're not going to the playoffs or we're not winning Super Bowls, nobody cares. But all of those hires were smart. It were the right way. But sometimes it just don't. Sometimes you need a Steve Kerr to come in and add a little twist to it, whether it's a head coach, offensive coordinator. But I don't think the answer every time we don't get to a Super Bowl is to fire a guy after 3 years. Who the hell would want to play for you if every 3 years you got a different head coach? I think that's reckless. I think it's dangerous, and I just think it's downright idiotic. And RC, if you keep a lot of those offensive coordinators in the staff intact, I think you got another thing, and that's the thing that people. I'm glad you said that, because if you keep a lot of those um, offensive coordinators, and now we see that Mike McDaniel, LaFleur, all those guys were under Kyle Shanahan here in Atlanta. So I don't think because Arthur Smith isn't getting the job done, we just go fire because we probably have a head coach right now waiting for an opportunity. And I think that guy right now, everybody looking at Ryan Nielsen like a fucking look. He looking like a damn hot ass honey bun or hot ass goddamn donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, they ready to tear that son bitch up. Ryan Nielsen is an absolute stud right now in defensive coordinator. So I don't think the answer to like everything is just firing the head coach, because if you fire the head coach, all the other guys underneath you may be gems. So I don't, like I said, I don't think the answer to everything is fire a head coach. Sometimes patience is the way to go. But I love what I'm seeing from Ryan Nielsen, man. And Kenya for 20. These so-called fans forget that this man worked up from the salary cap purgatory, and he is trying to iron the kinks out of a very young offense. This is a great, great comment right here. And like I said, bro, this is the first year these guys have played together. This is the first year Desmond Ridder and Kyle Pitts has played together. This is the first year this offensive line has played together. All this shit is brand new, bro. Like, we have expectations for things. See, this is what Chuck gotta look. Get the cock out your mouth, okay? Chuck, get the cock out your mouth because you're talking crazy, okay? Get it out your mouth. It's not year 3. This team isn't in year 3. I don't know why people keep saying this. It's not year 3. He did not have his guys. This is not the first time that we've seen Desmond Ridder in this offense. This is not the second or third year we've seen Desmond Ridder. If we talking about Desmond Ridder being his 3rd year and he's still making these mistakes, we talking about complete different. We talking about Drake and Kyle and Bijan and Tyler Algier and all these guys being in their 3rd year, but it's not. Most of these guys in their 1st and 2nd year. But we sit up here talking about, oh, it's year 3. It's not year 3. Where are you people? Where are you people saying? Where are you people getting these ideas from? It's Arthur Smith's first year having his teams, his options, his scheme, his defense, his players, his coaches. This is the first year he's had his opportunity to build his team. Did we just totally forget that they had an NFL record in dead cap money? Did we just totally forget about this and say, oh, it's third year? I like people just act like this Falcons team has been together for 3 years. It hasn't. We had one guy that's been here 3 years on the offensive side, and that's Kyle Pitts, and he had a Pro Bowl. But his second year, he was hurt. This is the first time you've seen all of these weapons together. So why, with the first time that you've seen these guys work well together and they've shown you that they have grown, Bijan has shown you something. Tyler has shown you something. Drake has shown you something. Desmond Ridder has shown you something. Kyle, like all these guys are showing you what they worth it, that they can play, but y'all only saying, well, we'll only give you 1 year to prove something. That ain't enough. Y'all just got here, but now we're gonna get rid of them. Like, what the hell kind of sense does that make? They've been together 1 year, and we up here talking about, well, Arthur. So we're gonna punish the entire team because Arthur been here 3 years. We're gonna punish Arthur Smith. Okay, we hired him because no other coach would take this job. Let's be honest. Few NFL coaches would have taken this job. Arthur Smith came here. He had other options, but he saw an opportunity to work with not only one of the best owners in the league, but come in with an opportunity where he could tear this team apart, rebuild it in his own way. And Nathan Floyd, from the same story you're quoting, Blank said the 3-year plan has been successful, had a competitive team while getting out of salary cap purgatory. So, again, why we keep saying this has been 3rd year? We losing game because of Smith. No, that's not true at all. We losing game because we're not executing. It's like, look, coach can only call plays, and whether I like these calls or not, then nobody tell Desmond Ridder to throw that bitch in the air like it's fucking a hot potato. He didn't tell him to do that. I don't remember saying, all right, Arthur Smith, Desmond, throw the ball up in the air so the guy can intercept it. Like, I don't remember him saying that. Well, I don't recall Arthur Smith telling Bijan Robinson not to run a proper route or fumble the ball, or the special teams giving up a big play in a crucial moment that allowed the quarterback to have a start on a short field and score a touchdown. I don't recall all that happening. No, he shouldn't be benched because you say so. How about we bench you? How about I put you on a 24-second timeout? The first thing you can be saying, Mike, man, you a weak ass bitch. You put me on timeout because I'm talking. So this is what y'all want to do. Yeah. Soon as a guy make one mistake, or he makes a mistake, or the team make mistakes, y'all want to throw him away in the trash. Here we go with that accountability shit. Like, What do you mean by accountability? Like people say some of the most crazy stuff. What the hell does this mean? How are you gonna hold an NFL player accountable as a fan? What do you want Arthur Smith to do? Grady Jarrett jumped off sides. We want to bench Grady Jarrett because he jumped off sides. This is what we talking about. Grady Jarrett jumped off sides in a crucial moment last week, but nobody wanted to bench him and send him to damn Afghanistan. Yep. So let's say toxic black, and your name full of shit anyway. I don't even know why I'm reading your damn comments. Tell me why should we? What's the point of benching Desmond Ridder? And don't tell me that Taylor Heineke could quite possibly be something. What's going to happen if the Falcons bench Desmond Ridder? Because you seem to have an end result in mind. I'm not going to say what that end result, but what are the Falcons going to accomplish by benching Desmond Ridder? And I already know what he's gonna say. Well, we're gonna possibly see what Taylor Heineke can be. So Toss Black, yeah. Come on, tell me what's gonna happen if we bench Desmond Ridder. What's good is gonna come out of benching Desmond Ridder? Because sometimes people just have a plan. Again, I promise you, who? All these bland ass statements. I quite possibly look. I don't give look. See, this is why a lot of you motherfuckers don't have no look. I'm gonna be real disrespectful now, but this is why a lot of people like you have no clue what the fuck you be talking about. I can promise you, I don't care about what you think. You gotta have a plan, and don't tell me Taylor Heineke is a plan that y'all are confident with. Don't sit up here and tell me that you was confident at Taylor Heineke. Here he go. All right, I'm done with you. Cause you see, that's what we talk about. Talking out of his ass. He talking with his coochie. Good God Almighty. Ain't saying nothing intelligent. He just talking about his feelings. All right. This ain't goddamn Netflix night, okay? This ain't chilling Netflix. I don't care nothing about your feelings. This ain't shit Netflix and chill. This ain't what this is. All right. We don't care about feelings. Come up with a logical explanation by why Falcons should bench Desmond Ridder. Everybody getting these feelings, and I promise you, and we can do this, and we can do that. The offense would be better if we just do that. But give me a reason what is going to call. All right. How is it going to fix this Atlanta Falcons offense if we bench Desmond Ridder? What are going to be the changes? Are we going to throw the ball, screens? Are we going to throw deep balls? Are we going to rely on the offense, the running game? Like how would it benefit the Atlanta Falcons if we bench Desmond Ridder? I heard a few people say that Taylor Heineke is the answer. I don't know if Taylor Heineke is the answer, but he got to be better than Desmond Ridder. Yet he's not on the NFL team as a starter. He wasn't chosen to be a starter by the NFL team, but he was chosen by the Atlanta Falcons to be a backup. And then we got Logan Woodside. We say, well, Logan Woodside got to be better than Desmond Ridder. Like, come on, bro. What are y'all talking about? We don't blame anybody. It's a part of growth. It's a part of sports. Y'all think the Atlanta Braves just got to a point where they were just in it like major champions? No, they had to go through the grind. They had to go through the struggles. The Chiefs had to go through the struggles. The Patriots had to go through the struggle. What are you talking about? And the thing is, like I said, I don't understand why it's so difficult to understand that players are going to struggle. I literally read you guys numbers off from Tom Brady. The dude threw for less than 200 yards in a game, 3 interceptions, and still won. It's never about one particular team, one particular player. No one coach, no one player is going to lose you. Because Arthur Smith didn't sit up here and tell Desmond Ridder to throw a damn lollipop into the damn air and get it picked off. He didn't tell Bijan Robinson to run the wrong route and fumble the ball. He didn't tell the defense. He didn't tell the special teams to give up a big return. He didn't tell Grady Jarrett to jump off sides. He didn't tell AJ Terrell to drop interceptions. He didn't tell Richie Grant to not read the damn defense properly, the offense properly. He didn't tell none of that. You got to go through struggles. You got to go through the struggles. And the only way you're going to get struggles is on the field. You're never going to be good unless you see it on the field. So, like I said, you can sit up here all this, hold you accountable. Don't nobody give a fuck about what y'all think about holding somebody accountable, because your word means nothing, just like my words mean absolutely nothing. You crying about Desmond Ridder sucking in your eyes and your eye test don't mean it's true. Okay? Don't matter. Because the knowledge that we get are from real NFL players and executives that's actually been there. So, like I said, it's all about time. Got to give people time to learn. You got to give people time to prove that what they are and what they can and cannot do. So at the end of the day, look, you can cry all you want to. I don't know what these guys are thinking. But chances are, if the Falcons want to win, they're going to make changes. So could be quarterback. It could be trading a guy on defense away. It could be doing this and doing that. They're going to make their changes. But it's way too early to sit up here and say, yep, Desmond is that guy. Bijan is that guy. Kyle is that guy. It's way too early. This is the first year these guys have played together, and we already trying to blow it up because y'all impatient. There hasn't been an NFL champion in this league that hasn't struggled to get to that point. The Rams, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Colts, every last one of those teams went through growing pains. But somehow the Falcons or Falcons fans don't want to acknowledge the fact that those teams struggled to get to a point. And that's the problem. This is not instant gratification. This is not bust a nut and get it done. Okay? You got to go through a period. And with that said, I got to finish a few things. I appreciate about it for joining us, but we got to start with this. The answer to everything is not throw it away because you can't fix it or you don't want to fix it. Got to give these guys an opportunity to prove something. We ain't even giving them an opportunity to prove because we crying so much. So again, with that being said, you guys check us out tonight. If you want to speak your piece, this is your opportunity. 6-man KSTYLZZ, 8 o'clock. All right, 8 o'clock tonight. Please hit that subscribe button. All right. If you enjoy, if you want to continuously, and shout out to LT in the chat right now. He actually dropped his post game takes. He dropped his post game takes earlier Monday. So you see his post game takes on Mad Mike Sports. His takes throughout the week. You can follow him on Wordplay Kid on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to say it. But like I said, it's so many people just want instant. They want things now, and we've seen time and time again that just because you spent $100 million on a quarterback don't mean you're gonna win a championship. We see the Jets, we see the Vikings, and we see the Saints failing right now because of that. Just because you think a quarterback in college is good doesn't mean he's going to actually win. Follow him on X, on Twitter, WordPay _kid26. Check him out. So if you guys enjoy more hit takes, just let him know, and I will upload them to Mad Mike Sports so y'all can hear more of his takes. Like I said, this is a network, and this is your opportunity to be heard. Mad Mike Network, we're accepting anybody who feels that they want to be not only a Falcons content creator, Hawks, Braves, hell, even you Atlanta United. If you love Atlanta United, just hit us up. We'll put you on the network, and we'll continue to build and help you guys be heard just like we have been heard. So again, no hard feelings. This is good old-fashioned smack talk. Mad Mike Sports, Mad Mike Network, the Unholy Alliance, aka AFN Crew. We out here, baby.